Hey, what's up, y'all? So, I was thinking today, I don't do this very often anymore because we have this live thing on Thursdays that usually feeds this, but I had a few minutes today. So what I was thinking I would do is go through some of these questions in the comments that maybe get passed over sometimes, a little bit more technical stuff. So let's do that. And I'm just gonna have my phone here with some questions and a guitar, and we're just gonna chat for a few minutes. Mostly because I have a few minutes to play, and it's an easy way to get some useful stuff done. Let's find some questions. So let's see, Sunny Soul says, I love your videos, but I'm still confused and I have a question after watching this. He's talking about the coil split versus coil tap video. I often see many brands mentioning both coil split and coil tap on their specs, but 90% of the time it has always been humbuckers and never single coils. But after watching this, it sounds like you can't tap a humbucker. I'm confused. You can do anything. I mean, I suppose it's possible. There's a couple of practicality issues with tapping humbuckers, meaning running some coil, running an extra wire, running some more coil. There's a couple things. One is the amount of wire that fits on a single humbucker bobbin is not that much. So the perceived gain or difference that you would get tapping one coil of one humbucker is not... There's not enough there to make a huge difference with. And somebody's going to get in the comments and be like, oh, I tried it once and it worked. Yes, it can be done. You can do it. But then the other practicality thing is packaging, because then you end up with 9 wires on a 2-coil humbucker, and the packaging gets so big that then you got to fit the wires through holes in the guitar. You know, there's all kinds of packaging issues. And then switching, and then practicality. You know, go watch rig rundowns by Premier Guitar. Go watch all this junk that people get into and want various features. Just in real life, nobody uses it. I could make it, and I would have to charge you probably $180 for it, because it would be an absolute pain in the butt to make. And then no one would buy it because it doesn't actually... It's like the amount of work and money put into it versus the reward that you would get out of it and what it would actually do. It's just not worth it. Oh, let's see. Guitars, Gear, and Gizmos. That's a good name for a channel, by the way. Asks, science class can wait for later. I want to think about capacitors. Everyone's favorite subject for some reason. Which capacitor is the best for just about any average electric guitar? 0.047 orange drop? That's my personal choice. I like it. It gives you a nice wide range of things that can be done. It gives you flexibility. I know a lot of people disagree with me, but I like to put it on an audio taper pot because it... Just try it. It's cool. It's cool. Maybe in an upcoming video, because we've got some build videos coming up. Maybe we'll do that. It's just a kind of a fun. Greg says, so lots of people complain about humbucker's split tone not feeling like a real single coil. Say I have a couple of old single coils laying around, could I just mount them against each other to make a humbucker, quote unquote humbucker? Absolutely you could. Here's the thing. When you split it, it would still drop a ton of volume. Of course, it would sound like a regular single coil because you would have one single coil left, so you would gain that, but you would still drop a bunch of volume because it's a proportion. So, like, the perception of our ears is that when you have this much output and then you take this much away, holy crap, that's a lot. And your ears are like, oh, it's not as loud, or there's not as much. And so the trick is balancing that and being able to split that with less perceived volume drop. It's not that there is zero volume drop, it's that our ears don't perceive it, because obviously sound is a perception. So if we take away 30% of the signal instead of 50%, our ear is less likely to perceive that volume drop. And that's what we do with the center punch. The pickups that we make, that we coil split, that's what we do. And there's ways to do that, but that I don't typically get into in videos, but that's what we do. And so you don't take 50 away, take 30% away. Yeah, sure. I don't know. Something right around. I don't know what it actually is. I guess I've done the math, but it's been so long I just make them now. But if you just take away 50% of anything, you're going to hear the difference. Yes, if you put two single coils together, you'll have a whole single coil left, but it'll still be the same problem of volume dropping. So I don't know if this is necessarily a question, but it's an interesting observation that this guitar makes me think of. We did a video, Les Paul versus SG, and what the actual difference is. And it's basically pickup placement, more or less. There's more obviously differences than that, but that's a big one that people overlook. And Ted says, where you pick along the string has more impact on tone than the wood. You can pick at the bridge and get one tone, and then at the 12th fret and get something completely different. You know, that's really cool, and I will tell you, oops, scratch my guitar. That's one of the things that this McPherson has really taught me, even more than a regular guitar, is the variance in sound. Just a little bit. You know, obviously it's really obvious, right? But this guitar is, it's just really fun and dynamic that way. I really like that. So that comment made me want to notice it. This is an interesting question, and I'll address this because a lot of people ask me this, and I hate being called an expert. I hate, in the strictest sense of the word, I'm just a guy with a camera on the internet, just like anybody else, and I would encourage you to do research on anything that you're familiar with or that you are curious about, but do it about the science, not the religion of making music. There's a difference. So this guy asks, oh great, hang on. Did you acquire all of your electrical knowledge through some sort of EE degree, or are you entirely self-learned from the guitar hobby? It's a combination of both. I went to school for electronics. I got my start a long time ago. This is dating me now, but basically working on tube televisions. That's what I started with. Tube televisions and switching power supplies for computer monitors, designing those circuits, blah, blah, blah. But the music stuff has always been in my family. So my dad, if you go to DylanTalksTone.com and you see the Bert's Guitar Studio t-shirt in the merch section, make sure you do that, little plug. That's my dad. We had a recording studio and a guitar store when I was very, very young. So, and he was a professional musician all through his life, and then in television production, and then video production. So I've been in this all my life. But yes, I have formal education, and then this. Yes. That being said, I will never come on here and say, I'll never make a video and say I'm some sort of expert about something, because I feel very strongly, and people are super weird about this in the comments. I feel very, very strongly that you never know everything, and that you always have to be learning something. And there are people who will have point stuff out to me. There's a lot of people that I really, really respect that know way more than me, who say, hey, did you know this? You should probably make a new updated video on this because you're not wrong, but there's this other information, or you are wrong. And I will do it. I have no problem doing it. The only thing I have an issue with is when people get in the comments. I mean, I had a guy the other day be like, let's make this a teachable moment for you. Like, condescension is doesn't look good on anybody, and I get accused of it because of, I don't know, maybe it's just my manner or how I make videos, or I don't know what. I have a way better sense of humor than the internet allows me to have. Apparently you're not allowed to tell jokes anymore, and so I keep it very tight, and I make a very concerted effort to make sure that what I say in these videos is accurate to the best of my knowledge. And I don't always cover every detail in every video because that's not possible, but I make sure as good as possible that I'm as accurate as possible based on actual reference material and actual science and actual everything. Where it gets into mojo and tradition and religion because people make this into a religion. They believe something for years. I've been doing it for this many years, so therefore it must be true. I don't subscribe to that. And so when I say things like that, or, expose something like that, or myth bust something like that, I think people will think sometimes that I'm speaking in a condescending way, but really I would make jokes out of all of this crap. But people, for some reason, I should just do it. I should just make videos the way I want to make them, because a lot of this crap is so funny to me. It's hilarious to me how people are so sensitive about it. And it's just wood, and well, this is carbon fiber, but it's just stuff. You can just go to the lumber yard or order it on Amazon or eBay and build it yourself. And it doesn't really matter. None of this stuff matters. Like, especially if you can't translate it into a creative medium, none of it matters anyway. And I think that's a big problem with guitar videos in general. I think, and the guitar, I don't want to say the guitar videos. Honestly, it's a big problem with the guitar culture in the comments section. And I know it's everywhere, and I don't want to get into politics and social issues, so we'll just talk about guitar stuff. But I think if people were just to relax and play more, which is what I've been doing lately. I've been playing a lot. Since I got this guitar, I've been playing almost every day, or every day really. A couple days here and there I've missed, but I've been playing a lot more. And I don't know if you've noticed, but the videos have reflected more creating stuff. And I know that you guitar nerds will probably haven't even watched this far because you don't even like a talking head video, but you guitar nerds get in the comments and or won't watch it. You won't watch it because you want some sort of overly nerdy thing. It just doesn't matter. Put whatever capacitor you want in your guitar and try it. They're like 40 cents. Try a cheap one. Try an expensive one if you have the money. And I know that the goal of these videos a lot of times is to save yourself money, and I really try to do that for you. But here's what happens. This is what happens when you make a video where it's like, I'm trying to show you something technical so that to help you make the right purchasing decision, and then people take it as this is what has to happen. And I don't want to take the motivation for experimentation and trying new things away from people by you just watching one of these videos. That is not the goal of it. The goal of watching this stuff is not to learn a thing and then write it into your own personal law, or take what I say as some sort of authority. Don't do that. Add it to your arsenal of experimentation and trying new things. And I know that not everybody has the budget to try a lot of new things. You know, you can't just go buy a new guitar every week, or you can't just go buy a new pickup every week and experiment with it. So there's where we try to come into play. But know that that's the motivation for making this stuff. It's not to be some sort of... I mean, I want it to be a knowledge base and something that you can rely on, but I don't want it to be... please don't look at me, because people do. It makes me uncomfortable. And people get in the comments and say mean things and whatever, and you know, and I know a lot of people will say, well, it's just the internet. No, you're a person watching this video, and if you get in the comments and say crappy stuff, you're being a crappy person. And what's really interesting about that is 90% of the time, I know that you don't mean it. So don't say it in the comments. Does that make me sensitive? No. That makes me want to... I want to be a positive person in the world. And I want to make a positive contribution. Don't you want to do that? Why are you making a negative contribution to the world? Doesn't make sense to me. I want to make a positive contribution to the world. And that's what this whole thing is. Everything that we do is because I have a theory. This goes all the way back to my dirt bike days, and I know this video is getting long, and probably nobody's going to watch it, but this goes back to my dirt biking days before I got hurt, and it is that what I do for a living, I know that you have a limited budget and you have a limited time to enjoy on your hobby, and you're probably sitting at work watching this video, or whatever, or you're at home watching this, whatever, it doesn't matter. And you only have a few hours this week or a few minutes a day to play guitar, and you want to make the most of it. And so my job is to make sure, this is my opinion, this is my goal in life. My job is to make sure that you get the most out of the limited budget and time that you have to enjoy the hobby the best that you can. My job is not to create a platform for people to argue and be angry with each other over things that really don't matter, when all you should do is pick up your guitar and go. That's it. I think that's what's wrong with this whole thing. And to tell you the truth, I've had very serious conversations with Leslie, my wife, for those of you that are new or don't know, about quitting, completely quitting everything, because it gets discouraging. It gets where people don't understand the point of what I'm trying to do. That this is, I'm trying to bring together a community of people that enjoy a hobby. And I know that it's me against the world, because everybody's going to say that's the way the internet is, but I don't believe so. And I believe we've done a pretty good job of creating a pretty positive. And you know, you'll probably be tired of me saying it, and you won't watch this video this far in, or whatever, be angry about it, that even. I don't care. It's me. It's my channel. And maybe not even accurately that, this is our channel. But if you want to be a part of this community that we have created, I'm not telling you to fall in line. I'm telling you to question everything. But be nice when you do it. And when you leave this channel or this video and go into another Facebook group, don't be that guy. Don't be the guy that is ruining the hobby. This is fun. You know, I bought this guitar because it's the most fun thing that I own. It is, I love this thing. I did not buy it because I wanted to argue with someone, or because I argued with someone. Don't get in the comments and say, hey, I just bought this thing, is it good? You're just looking for affirmation at that point. That's not education, that's affirmation. Like, just be the person that you want the world to be. And I know that's a little deep for a guitar channel, and I know this video is way off topic of normal stuff, but I just had to say it because I love doing this. And no, I'm not quitting. Just know that some of you in the comments make me feel like I want to sometimes. And I know it's not intentional. But you have control over that. And I know that not only do you have control over it, you're hurting yourself more than you're hurting me. Because, or anybody, you know, people will say ugly things in the comments to try to offend or whatever, but honestly, I don't care what PhilBob917 says in the comments about a video that I made 6 years ago that's been updated 4 times since then, no matter how hateful he intends to be. And I know that PhilBob917, if I run into you at a Wild Wings somewhere, I will buy you a beer and you'll be a perfectly decent person. So just don't not be a decent person on the internet. It's that simple. I love everybody. I love all this stuff. Leslie gets on me sometimes for saying I hate these strings. Because I don't hate stuff. You know? So I'm really trying to strike the word hate from my vocabulary, because it invokes a stronger emotion than is necessary. I don't like certain strings, but the bottom line is I kind of like everything. There's a reason to like everything. You may not like something, but that doesn't mean there is no reason to like it. And the other thing is, it's okay to like more than one thing. It's okay to like a Kemper and a tube amp. It's okay to like Swamp Ash and Alder. It's okay to like a Martin D18 and a carbon fiber McPherson. It's okay to like Fender and Gibson. It's okay to like a 2016 Les Paul with a brass nut. It's okay. It's fine. Don't be so tribal about all this stuff, and be a positive person for the hobby. Just be a positive person for the hobby. I don't even know if I'm gonna put this video on the internet, but it was on my mind today because literally it's Thursday and I should have had a video up the other day, and I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling making a video. I couldn't put something together because I was just not feeling it. Sometimes that happens, and I was trying to dig into the reason why I wasn't feeling it. And people want to know if I'm honest about the videos I make, if I'm a paid shill. We had that whole video, and people still got in the comments, "You're a paid shill." This is me right here, and I would invite anybody in non-COVID times to pull up a chair and a guitar and a beer. And I don't really drink beer anymore; it bothers my stomach. But pull up a beer and a guitar, and a scotch or a cup of coffee or a Coke or whatever, and just have some fun. Make sure at the end of this video that you go into your wherever you are at your earliest convenience and pick up your guitar and strum some chords without thinking about how it works, without thinking about what it's made of, without thinking about what somebody else's guitar is made of, without doubting the choice of your gear, and take what you have and make a sound that you're proud of. Just do that. You guys are awesome. I love doing this. Thanks for hanging out with me on my version of a rant that I rarely ever do. And I hope you take something from it. And have a good day.